Before starting, put the auto-generated YouTube subtitles in French or your mother tongue to get everything. And slow down or speed up the pace as needed. If you don't have time to watch it, just listen this video as a podcast while doing something else. Now listen and learn English as exploring our world. Imagine this. You're on a plane, thousands of feet in the air. Everything seems normal, but suddenly, something goes terribly wrong. This is the true story of Turkish Airlines Flight TK204. It was October 8, 2024, when Flight TK204 took off from Seattle to Istanbul. What happened next shocked the aviation world. High above northern Canada, the unthinkable happened. Captain Pehlivan collapsed in the cockpit. The co-pilot issued a distress call and took command. The crew tried to revive the captain, but their efforts were futile. The captain was gone. The co-pilot now had the enormous responsibility of landing the plane safely. The lives of everyone on board rested solely on his shoulders. Flight TK204 began like any other long-haul flight. The Airbus A350-900 taxied smoothly away from the gate at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. The sun was setting as the plane lifted into the sky. Inside, flight attendants demonstrated safety procedures. Passengers settled in for the long journey ahead. The initial climb was uneventful. Little did they know, this flight would soon become anything but routine. Flight TK204 leveled off, soaring eastward into the night sky. The flight path took them over Canada, Greenland, and across the Atlantic. The cabin lights dimmed, encouraging passengers to rest. The flight attendants served dinner. In the cockpit, Captain Pehlivan and his co-pilot monitored the aircraft. The flight was progressing smoothly. Everything seemed to be going according to plan. Captain İlçehin Pehlivan was a seasoned pilot with years of experience. He joined Turkish Airlines in 2007 and was known for his calm demeanor and sharp skills. Just months before, he had passed a routine medical examination. There was no indication of any underlying medical condition. His presence in the cockpit inspired confidence. Passengers felt reassured by his steady hand. Hours melted into one another as Flight TK204 continued its journey. Passengers watched movies or tried to sleep. Flight attendants moved through the cabin, offering drinks and snacks. In the cockpit, the routine continued. The pilots monitored the aircraft's systems and communicated with air traffic control. There was no indication that the tranquility of the flight was about to be shattered. Hours into the flight, a chilling silence descended upon the cockpit. Captain Pehlivan slumped back in his seat, his face pale. The co-pilot, realizing the gravity of the situation, checked the captain's vital signs. There was no pulse. The once routine flight had taken a terrifying turn. The co-pilot knew he had to act quickly. The lives of everyone on board now depended on him. "Mayday! Mayday! Mayday!" The co-pilot's voice trembled with urgency. "This is Turkish Airlines Flight TK204. We have a medical emergency. The captain is incapacitated." Air traffic controllers recognized the urgency in his voice. Emergency protocols were initiated. Medical professionals provided guidance to the co-pilot and crew. The distress call sent ripples of concern across the globe. Inside the cockpit, the co-pilot struggled to maintain control. He announced the medical emergency to the flight attendants. They instructed passengers to remain calm and prepare for an emergency landing. A doctor and a nurse among the passengers rushed to the cockpit. The fate of the captain hung in the balance. The co-pilot coordinated with the crew, ensuring they were prepared. The lives of everyone on board depended on their actions. The weight of responsibility pressed heavily on the co-pilot's shoulders. He fought to suppress the wave of grief threatening to engulf him. His training guided his actions. He maintained contact with air traffic control. He coordinated with the crew, ensuring they were prepared for every eventuality. The silence from the captain's seat was a heartbreaking reminder of the fragility of life. Turkish Airlines Flight TK204, You are cleared for landing. The air traffic controller's voice crackled through the cockpit. The co-pilot acknowledged the clearance. The Airbus A350-900 began its descent towards JFK. The co-pilot guided the aircraft towards the runway. Emergency vehicles lined the runway. As the wheels touched the tarmac, a collective sigh of relief swept through the cabin. A mixture of gratitude and sorrow filled the air. The Airbus. A 350-900 sliced through the pre-dawn darkness towards New York City. Below, the city continued its nocturnal rhythm. The distress call had transformed JFK into a scene of urgent preparation. Emergency response teams assembled along the runway. Inside the air traffic control tower, tension crackled. Controllers guided the stricken aircraft towards a safe landing. The emergency landing served as a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of life. The touchdown was smoother than anyone could have dared to hope for. A collective sigh of relief swept through the cabin as the wheels kissed the tarmac. Outside, the act of taxiing took on an almost surreal quality. The Airbus, surrounded by emergency vehicles, inched its way across the tarmac. Inside, a hush had fallen over the passengers. Some stared out the windows, their eyes betraying a mix of gratitude and apprehension. Medical personnel were waiting, ready to rush to the captain's aid. The air inside the cabin was thick with an unspoken grief, a shared sense of loss that transcended language and cultural barriers. The passengers, many of whom had been strangers just hours earlier, were now bound together by this shared experience. The flight attendants, their faces etched with fatigue and sadness, moved through the cabin, offering words of comfort. They offered tissues to wipe away tears and a reassuring presence in those uncertain moments. In the cockpit, the co-pilot sat motionless, his hands still gripping the controls, his eyes fixed on the instrument panel. The arrival of the medical team, their faces grim but determined, marked the beginning of the end of this extraordinary journey. The passengers, their movements subdued, watched silently as paramedics boarded the aircraft, their presence a stark reminder of the tragedy that had brought them to this unexpected destination. The disembarkation process, usually a chaotic scramble to escape the confines of the aircraft, was now a somber procession. Passengers, their faces pale and drawn, filed slowly off the plane, their footsteps echoing in the quiet of the jet bridge. Some whispered words of gratitude to the flight attendants, others simply nodded, their eyes downcast, lost in their thoughts. As the last passenger disembarked, the true weight of the tragedy settled upon the crew. The co-pilot, his steps heavy, finally emerged from the cockpit, his face etched with exhaustion and grief. He was met with a mixture of admiration and sympathy from the ground crew, their expressions conveying a silent understanding of the ordeal he had just endured. The Airbus, a 350-900, now empty of passengers but forever marked by the events of Flight TK204, stood silently on the tarmac, a testament to the fragility of life and the unpredictable nature of fate. The sun, beginning its slow ascent over the horizon, cast long shadows across the airport, signaling the start of a new day, a day that would forever be etched in the memories of those who had been on board that fateful flight. Captain İlçehin Pehlivan, the man whose life was tragically cut short at the helm of Flight TK204, was more than just a name on a flight manifest. He was a respected pilot, a beloved colleague, and a devoted family man. Born in 1965 in a small town in Turkey, he had a lifelong fascination with aviation. His passion led him to join the Turkish Air Force, where he excelled. After serving with distinction, he joined Turkish Airlines in 2007. He embraced his new role, mastering modern aircraft and earning respect. To those who knew him, Captain Pehlivan was a true gentleman, a man of integrity and kindness. Beyond the cockpit, Captain Pehlivan cherished time with his wife and children. His colleagues often spoke of his love for his family. His sudden passing sent shockwaves through the aviation community. Tributes poured in from colleagues, friends, and strangers touched by his story. He was remembered for his infectious smile and unwavering professionalism. Turkish Airlines expressed their deep sorrow and extended heartfelt condolences. Captain İlçehin Pehlivan will be remembered for his dedication and duty. The tragic events of Flight TK204, while heartbreaking, underscore the critical importance of the stringent safety protocols that govern commercial aviation. One of the most fundamental of these protocols is the principle of redundancy, the idea that critical systems and procedures should have backups in place to mitigate the risks posed by unforeseen circumstances, including the incapacitation of a pilot. In the case of long-haul flights like TK204, redundancy starts in the cockpit itself. Modern commercial aircraft are typically operated by a two-pilot crew, a captain and a first officer, each highly trained and qualified to command the aircraft. This two-pilot system ensures that in the event of one pilot becoming incapacitated, the other is immediately available to take control, ensuring the continued safe operation of the aircraft. Beyond the flight deck, redundancy extends to the aircraft systems. Modern airliners are equipped with multiple independent systems for navigation, communication, and flight control. These systems are designed to operate independently, providing backups in case of failure or malfunction. This layered approach to redundancy ensures that even in the face of multiple system failures, the aircraft can still be safely controlled and landed. The principle of redundancy is not limited to equipment and systems. It extends to training and procedures as well. Pilots undergo rigorous training in simulators and real-world environments to prepare for a wide range of emergencies, including pilot incapacitation. This training emphasizes situational awareness, communication, and the ability to quickly assess and respond to unexpected situations. Airlines and aviation authorities worldwide mandate recurrent training for pilots, ensuring they are consistently updated on the latest safety procedures and equipped to handle emergencies effectively. These training scenarios often involve simulations of pilot incapacitation, forcing pilots to work through the challenges of assuming control of the aircraft, communicating with air traffic control, and managing the situation on board, while coping with the emotional stress of such an event. The training for pilot incapacitation goes beyond simply taking over the controls. It involves a complex interplay of communication coordination and decision-making. Pilots are trained to recognize the signs of incapacitation in their fellow crew members, to communicate effectively with cabin crew and air traffic control, and to make critical decisions under extreme pressure. The emphasis on clear communication is paramount. In the event of pilot incapacitation, the remaining pilot must immediately inform air traffic control, declaring an emergency and providing updates on the situation. Equally important is the communication with the cabin crew, providing clear instructions and reassurance to maintain order and calm among the passengers. The training also covers the procedures for diverting the aircraft to the nearest suitable airport, taking into account factors such as weather conditions, fuel range, and the availability of emergency services. This decision-making process, often carried out under immense pressure, requires a thorough understanding of aviation regulations, aircraft performance, and the ability to remain calm and focused in the face of adversity. The story of Flight TK204 is a stark reminder of the fragility of life. Captain İlçehin Pehlivan dedicated his life to the skies. His sudden passing is deeply saddening. It's important to remember the human cost. Captain Pehlivan's legacy extends beyond the cockpit. The silent guardians of flight deserve our utmost respect. Let us remember Captain Pehlivan for the way he lived. The next time you board an aircraft, appreciate the unseen guardians of flight, the pilots and crew who ensure your safe passage. Their commitment to safety and professionalism is remarkable. The story of Flight TK204 highlights human resilience and effective safety protocols. The co-pilot's control and communication with air traffic control and the safe emergency landing show rigorous training and dedication. The safe landing was due to the efforts of engineers and air traffic controllers. The legacy of Flight TK204 is respect for the lost, gratitude for survivors, and support for aviation safety. Let us ensure the skies remain safe for generations to come.